something standing
I
in the
don't
doorway,
see it.
and her followers were quick to take notice and began sending her screenshots. What you're about to see is a screen grab from that timestamp. Now, when Ellen posted this follow-up video, I thought she...
I see it. Six disturbing videos from around the internet.
On May 28th of this year, just off the coast of Southeast Europe, a 19-year-old Serbian model, Tiana Radonjic, fell over 150 feet in a parasailing accident. However, it wasn't due to equipment.
And ignore the chat, bro. I'm not streaming no more, but it's stuck on the screen over there. But ignore that.
Failure.
Sags just be talking.
It only happened after Tiana herself unbuckled and unfastened the safety equipment.
That's Tiana.
Now, witnesses say she was heard screaming, "Put me down." But of course, they weren't able to bring her down in time, and her family is adamant that she would never harm herself. Here's that clip.
What the fuck?
Moments after she unfastens the seatbelt, she flips over and falls, leaving everyone below in shock as to what they just witnessed. Because according to the company, she was hired to do some marketing photos, where allegedly they trained her on all procedures, and apparently she was in good spirits prior to the trip, leaving many to believe that this was brought on by some sort of panic attack and a phenomenon called Call of the Void. Now, if you're not familiar with what Call of the Void is, it's a psychological phenomenon characterized by a sudden, fleeting urge to jump or perform other dangerous actions, even though one has no intention of actually doing so. And it's said that about 30 to 60% of the population experiences this, and it can come in the form of a fleeting urge to jump off a cliff or close your eyes while driving. One leading theory for causes of this is misinterpretation of internal safety signals.
Hell no.
In other words, the brain is simulating various outcomes when faced with potential danger. Now, of course, this is just a theory, and she was likely experiencing a severe panic attack. However, this tragic story is another reason not to go parasailing. Shiloh Hill is an avid user of the dark web, and his content often includes tips and tricks on the web. However, on this day, he discovered something that isn't quite in line with his normal content. And it all started when Shiloh found a marketplace for shoes on the dark web. But as he began to scroll, he noticed that it wasn't like other marketplaces, because each shoe had a person's name, an age, and a price. And the website itself was titled The Shoeman, Keeper of Souls. And it should be noted that on the dark web, they don't have a Google. It's like trying to explore a city in pitch black darkness. Regardless, Shiloh knows his way around the dark web, and he went ahead and found a pair of shoes that would fit him and ordered them. And they were named Waylon, age 29, size 13, and they were covered in what looks to be blood. Now, he's adamant that likely this is all a scam, but the theories in the comments section were wild. And to make matters even more strange, on the purchase page, there was a rental link. Now, some believe that he'll receive some sort of snuff film, while others think this is just stolen property off of bodies that are no longer with us. But that's not where the story ends, because he received his shipment and is currently in the process of testing the red substance on the boots. However, what's even more interesting is what he found inside of them, because after opening the package and turning the boot upside down, he found a VHS tape. Now, as of recording this, he's in the process of getting a VCR, and he hasn't seen the contents of the tape. However, I'll link his channel in the description, and you can follow him for any updates. On May 13th, a TikToker named Melody noticed she had a missed call from an unknown number, and since she was sleeping at the time, she didn't notice that they had left a voicemail. However, this voicemail left her terrified because not only did it mention her by name, but it said that it will not stop. Take a look. Now, although Melody was disturbed, there wasn't anything she could really do.
Nah, that's
But a
freaky
few
as
days
hell.
later, while out shopping, she received this note on her car. And at this point, she believed that both incidents were connected. But what happens next left her and her followers truly disturbed.
Okay, this might be nothing, but the timing is just not it. It was my birthday, right? And I got these flowers. Boom. They're dying. I know. That's not weird because it's me. Okay? They die. No note. So, and I figured, you know, when it's my birthday, someone's gonna call or text me and be like, "Happy birthday, did you like my flowers?" That didn't happen. It didn't happen. So, hold on, my dogs are freaking out.
Now, you likely missed it, but when she leans over to grab the flowers, there's something standing in the doorway, and her followers were quick to grab the flowers.
I don't see it.
Now, you likely missed it, but when she leans over to grab the flowers, there's something standing in the doorway. But when she leans over to grab the flowers, there's something standing
I
in the
don't
doorway,
see it.
and her followers were quick to take notice and began sending her screenshots. What you're about to see is a screen grab from that timestamp. Now, when Melody posted this follow-up video, I thought she
see it.
had possibly been tricked by one of her followers, so I pulled the video myself and dropped it in an editor, and to my surprise, the exact same thing was standing there. On May 2nd, this disturbing video was posted to TikTok, and in it, a man named Marcelo describes hurting his brother after an argument in which the brother had accused him of being a vegan. Now, his TikTok has since been banned, but apparently commenters believe this to be some sort of sick joke, when in fact, it wasn't, and he's currently sitting in jail awaiting trial. Now, I did find an update explaining that his brother is now in stable condition, but here's part of his disturbing confession.
I'm fucking cold. Go away and try to shower and jack off. My brother just tried framing me again, so I got him. Yeah. Good times. He took out his phone, tried framing me for being a vegan again. Says, yeah, you're a Satanist, a devil worshiper, all this and that. Called the cops on me like a bitch. So I shot him. Anyways, he has a criminal conviction, has fled Ecuador for being a racist. You know, does drugs, laundering, everything, I guess. Doesn't have a license here, but somehow still calls the cops because they want to bang whoever I'm also. Alright, so this is my brother trying to get me killed. He called the cops on me because he's trying to frame me again, just for being a vegan. What he did was he fled
Or being a vegan.
Problem in the clinic. He fled for. He doesn't have a license. He tries using my license abroad, and then he tries framing me just to get me in trouble. He uses fear-mongering tactics, and I guess right now I'm probably gonna die because he lied again. So yeah, that's my brother for you.
Now you can see, as the police begin moving in, he's getting more agitated. But thankfully, for everyone involved, he gave himself up. But it's worth including that he's obviously suffering from some sort of mental illness. And all of his videos, which are now gone, were about his, how do I say it, bowel movements. And as I mentioned, this video wasn't taken down immediately and started gaining traction.
It was that serious.
Now I
Because
personally
he's a
never saw
vegan.
this on my For You page, but judging by the
Bruh,
comment,
is being vegan that serious? Like what?
only imagine
But
what
that
people were
shit is
thinking.
crazy.
But regardless, this will likely go down as one of the more disturbing TikToks ever recorded. In June of 2024, a group of ghost hunters begin exploring Old Liberty High in Ohio when they begin to hear gunshots. Now Jake and his friends are the only two on the property at the time. However, they're in opposite ends of the building, so they call out for each other. And after finding a safe place, they call the police. But that's where this gets even stranger, because this school is said to be haunted, and the police end up with their own encounter. Take a look.
I'm at the Old Liberty High School. There's shots fired. Please come here quick.
Boy, sticking.
Thank you all.
Yep.
We go over here.
You guys armed at all?
No, we have nothing.
Are you the callers?
Yes, yeah, we are.
So what happened?
Well, we're
Back here.
in here filming a ghost video of all things, and I was kind of standing down here in the cellar, and it sounded like it had to have been like in this parking lot, just like 7 shots. So I ran up to him where he was up in the gymnasium, and we just heard like rattling on the door, and that's when we were like, yeah, we should probably call. The gunshots were all here. The rattling on the door and the footsteps were in the gymnasium, which is right over here.
Sheriff's Office, if you're in here, make yourself known.
Now it should be noted that all of Jake's equipment is still recording inside, as they were in a hurry to leave. And as the police move in to clear the building, this happens.
What's a nigga get to saying, did you see that? Bro, I don't want to see it. It's time for us to make our exit. That shit is hilarious. It's making itself known.
There's nobody in there, but there's something in there.
Are you serious? For real?
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean? Like, what?
Let me just.
For real?
So right there on the second floor,
Yes.
we were looking this way.
Nah, that's crazy. There's nobody in there, but there's something in
Like
there.
that, along that, what would that be? The east wall.
Yeah.
And then he hears it at the end of the hallway. And as I'm taking my light down, I see something go like dart across.
Are you guys dead ass?
Swear.
You have
And then
body
we were
cam?
like, no. But we were talking about you guys. We were like, let's just black out for a second. So we went completely black in there. And all of a sudden we heard movement behind us, and we just ran.
For real?
Because there's nobody in there.
Okay. Dude. No,
I watch this stuff on YouTube.
do you
The
guys?
Estes method and all that stuff.
Dude, that's what we do.
I figured
We have a
because I
we have
saw
a
the
channel.
chair,
Yeah.
yeah.
We have a channel. Yeah.
What channel are you guys?
Spirit Stalkers.
Spirit Stalkers.
Yep.
I'll watch it. I've never seen anything like that before.
No.
That's actually scared me.
Good luck.
Damn. All right. Well. Great.
So if you guys need anything else or hear anything else,
Yeah.
preferably if it's a human being, let us know.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
Now Jake and his partner quickly gather their equipment and get out of there. But after posting this, someone had commented that her husband was one of the deputies that night, and that he still talks about this night because of how creeped out he was. I recommend watching the full thing over on their channel. I'll tag it below. But let me know what you think. Now, I need to be careful covering this story due to its sensitive nature, because October 1st of 2017, a 64-year-old man whose name I won't mention opened fire from Mandalay Bay's 32nd floor in Las Vegas. This lasted approximately 10 minutes and involved over 1,000 rounds, and it was aimed at the crowd attending the country music festival at Route 91, and 60 people lost their lives, while over 850 were injured. But after this tragic event, a woman came forward and spoke to the news about a disturbing encounter she had at that concert before the shots went off, and you can tell that it left her shaken. Take a look.
Tell me about that experience.
Yeah, so there was a lady who pushed her way forward into the concert venue into the first row, and she started messing with another lady and told us that we were all gonna die tonight.
Do you know why she was saying that? I mean, was this after the shots were fired, or?
It was about 45 minutes before the shots were actually fired, but then she was escorted out by security.
How does that make you feel? I mean,
it makes me feel uncomfortable, especially coming here for my 21st birthday and not knowing if I'm safe, not even knowing if I'm safe going home tomorrow on an airplane, so.
Now, it should be noted, the girl being interviewed is Brianna Hendricks, and while
think
she
her
did
life is
give
Final
a description of this
Destination.
lady, her identity was never found. In addition, the hotel had a series of renovations and renumbered the floors, and the room that was used in this terrible event has been completely blocked off. As for the attacker, he lived a private life and had no significant criminal history, and he left no clear motive for the crime. Now, there's a whole lot more I want to talk about, but it would require a whole nother video. If you want to hear more, let me know. And as always, let me know what you think. Now, if you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching, and consider subscribing.
Hey, W video.
No, we not the same, I'm different. This bitch telling me I'm tripping. I don't look at analytics. Honestly, fuck the critics. Big blue honey's on me, I'm crippin'. Late nights in the stool detention. I know she just want attention. And I just want some money. No, this shit ain't funny. You can't play me like no dummy. Build a trap off of onion. Real flexin', I'm not stunning. I know you thought that I was bumming.